Hi, I'm going to make a few Halloween projects today, but before we get started with them, I have some pieces that I want to take outside and spray paint to prep. I have two of these square candle holders from Dollar Tree. All of this is from Dollar Tree. I have this two-piece plastic bowl set. We're only going to use one. And then I just have this glass. So I'm going to take these pieces outside, spray paint them with some cheap black spray paint, and then we'll get started. For the first project today, I started out with two of these Dollar Tree skulls. And I painted them black. And since the only paint I had on hand at the time was this latex semi-gloss black paint, that's what I used. Pretty sure you can use whatever paint you want. I also have some antique white apple barrel acrylic paint, and then I have some cheap old Dollar General school glue. You can use Elmer's or whatever you have. I have a couple of paintbrushes and a couple of these little tea lights. The tree lights come in a double pack from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to start this by saying I have no clue whether this is going to work or not. I'm going to try to crackle this skull. I've done that a lot with furniture using this process, but I've never done it with two different types of paint, and I don't know. Let's just do it. Get yourself a couple of paintbrushes and let's do it and see what happens. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We're going to take our glue and put it all over this skull. Now be generous. Don't try to make a thin layer. Just slather on a bunch of glue all over the skull. And I will bring you back once I get this glue, get this skull completely covered in glue. Okay, the skull's covered in glue, I'm covered in glue, everything's covered in glue. So we're going to let this dry just for a second, not long, because if you let that glue dry all the way, it won't crackle, or at least that's the way it works for me. I've poured some of my antique paint, white paint, into this bowl, and now we're just going to go over our skull with the white paint. And with any luck, it will crackle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish painting this guy, and we will see what happens. Okay, this is the next day. I allowed the skulls to dry overnight, and they came out quite interesting. Not exactly crackle, but definitely very interesting. This one had a dent in it that I just left it the way it was. Now it's still a bit damp on the bottom because it was sitting on the bottom. So the paint and glue didn't quite dry, but it's good enough for us to move on to our next step. So for the next step, I am going to place one of these tea lights on the skull, wherever you want that to be. And I'm going to try to draw around it with a pen, and hopefully I can see my draw on the skull. Oh yeah, we can see it. Now I want this to be a tiny bit bigger than the tea light because I've decided to use some Spanish moss in the hole with the light just to give it a little bit more of a creepy factor. So let's go ahead and cut up around this circle that I just drew. And if you get offline, if you get a gouge in here you didn't mean to, just cover it with the moss. This is supposed to be fun. This is Halloween stuff. Now the one thing you don't want to do is drop your candle down inside of here, because I have a feeling it'd be quite a nightmare to try to get it back out. Probably have to cut the bottom of the skull to get it out. And now that I've said that, watch me do it. Let's hope not. Oh, my blade's coming out. These aren't the easiest things to get in, unless it's just me. Let's tighten that up. Doesn't feel like it's going any tighter though. We're almost there. Okay, so we have a hole, but it's not quite big enough. So let's go ahead and make this a bit bigger. You're definitely getting big now. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So we're going to cover it up, so don't stress. Okay, it's big enough that it goes in like I want it to. So let's get this moss. You don't want a ton of it, but just enough to add a little bit more to our project. And just basically kind of go around with the moss. I have a hot glue gun here. Yeah, me and hot glue. That's a whole nother story. And we want our candle just to sit in there however far down you want yours to be. Is perfectly fine. Looks like a bird's nest. Now, have I made it so I can't get my candle in at all? No, I have not. Surprisingly, that's working out quite nicely. So what I'm going to do, our skull's finished, so what I'm going to do is just do the same thing with the other one, and this project is done. Let's turn this on. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. But here is our skull tea light. Okay, let's move on. Okay, remember the square candle holders that I showed you at the beginning? They have been spray painted black. We're going to use this for our next project, and for all the pieces that I sprayed black, I just used this very cheap $3 Walmart spray paint. So we're going to need 2 of these, and one of these cauldrons from the Dollar Tree, and they come in a 4-piece. We just need one. And one of the Halloween trays from Dollar Tree. You can get these in different colors. I chose the black one. They have different designs around them. This is a very simple project. Now, I'm going to use hot glue, but if you want this to last a good long time, you will want to use something like E6000, some type of industrial glue. So taking one of our square candle holders, I'm just going to glue this with a bunch of hot glue or an industrial glue, or both, however you want to do it. And I've turned my tray over so that it's upside down. I'm just going to place this candle holder in the corner of the tray. Okay. Now, working along the opposite side, we're going to glue the other candle holder. Now, this is simple, quick, easy, last-minute project. Now, let's flip this over the right way. And on the tray, I have glue strings. We're going to take this little cauldron, put some glue on the feet. Once again, use an industrial glue if you want this to last any length of time. And place it right in the center of our tray. And just like that, you have an elevated tray for your Halloween table. Put chips around the cauldron with dip in the cauldron. You could put vegetables with a dip in the center. You could put fruit, strawberries, kiwi, banana with a melted chocolate in the center. Apple slices with caramel in the center. However you want to use it, but that quick and easy. This project is done. Okay, for our next project, we're using one of these Dollar Tree skeletons. Now, you can paint it. You can crackle it like we did the skulls, and do whatever you want to with it. I'm going to leave it just like it is. And I'm going to cut this section off of his head. This hanging thing. Now, this project came about because of something I saw in a craft store. Joann's, I believe. So I'll insert a picture of that right now. Okay, now the trick here is to get this skeleton to sit cross-legged. I don't know how well this is going to work. I don't know if we're going to have to pop these joints out and make it happen, or yeah, they're coming out all by themselves. Well, that one is because I took it out to figure out somewhat what I'm going to do, and I popped it out, then I couldn't get it back in. So what I had to do was make the opening bigger for it to go back in. You know, that's enough really to satisfy me. If we could get it crossed that much. So turn these joints so they're up and down instead of side by side. And let's glue this one that I messed up and let that set a second. So maybe, just maybe, it will stay where it needs to stay. And let's not press our luck. Let's go ahead and glue this right here. Fair amount of glue. And I believe we're going to need some holding time here. So I'll bring you back. Okay, they're not quite crossed as much as I'd like them to be, but considering with the materials we're using, I think that's the best we're going to get. Now, remember the plastic bowl? I took it outside and I spray painted it. We're simply going to put it in the lap of the skeleton and glue his arms on. And then we will have a cute little candy dish. Oh my goodness, I didn't drop my glue gun. Okay. Okay, some glue on the side here. Lots of lovely glue strings. Originally, my idea was to make 3 of these and have them back to back, but Dollar Tree didn't have any more of these skeletons. So we're ended up with 1, and there we go. A cute little candy dish for your Halloween table, which you can't even see. Now you could glue the bowl down to his lap if you'd like. I don't see necessity in it, so I'm going to leave it like it is. Okay, our last project involves one of these Dollar Tree containers. And of course, you can get different styles, different colors, whatever you choose. And this glass that I got from Dollar Tree that I took outside and spray painted. And this is a fast, simple, easy craft. Okay, and I'm also going to use one of the skulls from this pack of skulls from the Dollar Tree. Just realized basically everything is Dollar Tree in this project. Okay, all we're going to do is put some glue on here and then place our container right on top. Now you can use this for cookies, candy, whatever you want to use it for. So we're just going to glue that right on. Again, if you want this to last a long time, it's best if you use an industrial strength glue like E6000. Let's do it this way. And obviously you can take that sticker off if you want to. I'm not bothered by it, so I just left it. So we have our little elevated container. Now for the lid, set this out of the way. I kind of wanted a handle for the lid, so I decided to use one of these little skulls to pick the lid up and give it some sort of little handle anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down right on top, in the center the best you can. And I'm not even sure if it's going to show on camera. We'll try it. Obviously, I will do pictures for you. So there is our little elevated cookie bowl, treat bowl, whatever you want to do with it. Well, I do hope you enjoyed these Halloween projects. And thank you so much for watching.